You know I'm loco.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Aiden's World of Sports, the new live podcast. I'm excited to start this podcast, and I hope to continue to inform and entertain my fans during future episodes and as we go along throughout this year. I would like to implement fan feedback, and I would like to be a diverse podcast, including special guests talking about sports with me, interviews with athletes, with coaches, with reporters and broadcasters all around the sports world, and I would like to include breaking news and stories across all the major sports. For today's episode, I'm going to cover 3 topics. We're going to cover the NFL, the NBA, and the MLB. And we even got a surprise for you guys. So, to start off, let's talk about the NFL. We're through week 6, and we've had some surprising starts. We've seen the Arizona Cardinals go undefeated through 6 games. Kyler Murray marching through every week, leading the MVP race, leading his teams to wins. Him and DeAndre Hopkins have chemistry. You can't lie. That team is scary. You do not want to face the Arizona Cardinals right now as they are hot. You want to know who else is hot? You got the new look Rams with Matthew Stafford at 5-1. The Cowboys getting Dak Prescott back, also at 5-1. You have the Bills and their offense, who have put up 35 and 40-point shutouts in back-to-back weeks, even though they did just lose to the Titans on Monday Night Football. Their offense came alive Monday night. We have the Ravens and Lamar Jackson, who are 5-1. Through some great finishes this season, you've seen the Ravens come out and show the fans why Lamar Jackson is an elite quarterback. Then you have the Titans, who are also 4-2. Derrick Henry has been putting his team on his back this season as he has multiple 140-yard rushing games, also multiple 3-touchdown games. That is unheard of. Derrick Henry is a monster of a man. Then you have the worst end of the starts with the Chiefs, who made the Super Bowl the last 2 years and even won it in 2020. They're last in their division at 3-3. Patrick Mahomes has thrown 8 interceptions through 6 games. A little scary of a sight. Though, he still had his highlights. Patrick Mahomes is amazing. Nobody's going to deny that. But the Chiefs have had a little bit of a scary start. You know who else has had a scary start? The Giants and the Jets. The New York NFL teams look to be the laughingstock of the NFL, even though the Lions are 0-6. But all of their games have been close, to say the least. Or most of them. You have the rookie quarterbacks who have come in and overwhelmingly underperformed. Zach Wilson's on pace to break Peyton Manning's rookie interception record in a season. And Trevor Lawrence hasn't done much better than that. The number 1 overall pick has thrown for almost as many interceptions as he has touchdowns. Justin Fields, though he didn't start week 1, he hasn't been all that great either. He got sacked 9 times in one game by that Browns defense, and not that I can say that it's his fault, but it's affecting him that he has no offensive line to help him. The one quarterback that has been great, though, is Mac Jones. And though he's had his bad moments, he flourished on Sunday Night Football against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in what was dubbed as the return, when Tom Brady came back to Foxborough. Mac Jones looked like vintage Tom Brady for Bill Belichick, and it was amazing to watch. You couldn't take your eyes off of the TV. It was just a sight to see. Mac Jones is looking like the steal of the draft for the quarterbacks, where the Patriots took him at 15, after he was rumored to go at number 3 overall to the 49ers. And, well, they picked Trey Lance, who started 1 game for them, and it wasn't all that great. We'll see. Jimmy G's losing his touch as well. 49ers might be in a rough spot, though they're in the toughest division in the NFL, where Russell Wilson, Matthew Stafford, and Kyler Murray are the 3 other quarterbacks in that division. The NFL is looking to be great. And let's take a look at the playoff picture while we're talking about it. In first, you have the Cardinals and the Ravens, who are looking to get buys and secure that going through the season. They're still 12 more weeks, well, actually 11, week 18 is going to be a big one this year. You're not going to see an undefeated team in the AFC, but you may in the NFC. And if you see an undefeated team, count on the Arizona Cardinals because their offense is amazing and their defense has shown out. J.J. Watt has made an impact. Chandler Jones has been great. Buda Baker and Byron Murphy Jr. have shown out for the Arizona Cardinals, and it is showing. They hold on to that number one spot in the NFC. Then you have the Buccaneers, the Cowboys, the Packers, the Rams, and you're looking everywhere else from there. Everyone's in the hunt. And now we switch it up to take a look at the NBA. After an eventful offseason which saw players like Lonzo Ball, DeMar DeRozan, Russell Westbrook, Kemba Walker, and Alex Caruso switching teams, we now start the season. We start the season with two games, Bucks, the Nets, the Lakers, and the Warriors. Two matchups that we saw last year in the playoffs. One came in the play-in round, and one came in the second round. The Bucks and Nets second round matchup was a thriller of a series. It went 7 games, and the Bucks went on to win, eventually going on to win the finals after this. The series ended 1/2 of a shoe size in the Bucks' favor. Kevin Durant, as you all seen, missed that shot from 3, though it was called a 2 because he wore a shoe half a size too large. The Nets lost because of this, and the game went into overtime, instead of the Nets having a 1-point win. And in overtime, the Bucks dominated and went on to win that Game 7. Well, tonight, the Bucks dominated as well. They won 127-104, and Giannis Antetokounmpo once again powered through the Nets defense. He had a big game, as well did Brook Lopez and Chris Middleton. Jrue Holiday went down with injury in this one, but it even though was no match for the Nets. The Nets had their stars, Kevin Durant and James Harden, but Kyrie Irving did not play due to not being vaccinated. He will not play until further notice when he does get vaccinated, if he does get vaccinated. And if he doesn't get vaccinated, he may get traded, which is a speculation that is going around the league right now. There are rumors going around that the Rockets may trade him for John Wall, but you never know. I don't think the Nets would do such a thing yet because they do have their big 3, but we'll see. They had a rough start to the season, and I don't know if James Harden and Kevin Durant alone can win a championship. Then we had the Lakers and the Warriors, where LeBron James tried to do everything he could, but Steph Curry's triple-double overpowered him. The Warriors win this game by 7 points, 121-114, to reverse the outcome of the play-in game, which was amazing, where LeBron hit a dagger 3 over Steph Curry with less than a minute left to go ahead in the game and win that play-in tournament. The Lakers obviously lost to the Suns after that, but it was still an amazing game, and I'm sure we'll see more of these Lakers-Warriors matchups throughout the year. And now to predict the awards. My MVP prediction is going to be Stephen Curry. I think he's going to have an amazing season this year, as he bounces back with Klay Thompson coming in maybe about Christmas. We don't know yet. He's coming off of 2 major injuries, and he may not be the same player. But the Warriors should make the playoffs at a higher seed than they did last year, just as they've gotten more depth off their bench, and they are receiving their second star. For Defensive Player of the Year, I think Anthony Davis will win this award. When healthy, he's one of the top players in the league. It's just if he can stay healthy. And this year, I predict he will. For Rookie of the Year, I think Rockets rookie Jalen Green will take the honors. He has no other supporting stars to take away points from him, to take a ball from him, and I think that Kevin Porter Jr. may be good, but he's not good enough. Then, I think Sixth Man of the Year will be Derrick Rose. He'll be able to win this award as the Knicks go on with a deep bench unit, and he'll keep the Knicks in game, being that spark plug. For Most Improved, I think Michael Porter Jr. will take another jump this year, and he'll go on to be the second best player on the Nuggets. With Jamal Murray being out from injury, he'll need the ball more, and Nikola Jokic can pass him the ball, just as he did last year, winning MVP with incredible stats for a center. Michael Porter Jr. is a player to watch after he scored 19.9 points per game last year, and he's only getting better.
Next segment, we're here to welcome a special guest and here to introduce himself, Maximus.
Yeah, so my name is Maximus, and I'm from New York City, Manhattan, and I'm a big Yankees fan, and I like the Islanders, and I'm a pretty big Patriots fan, surprisingly as well. And I am very excited for this upcoming hockey season, and I'm very excited to see who wins the World Series this year, as well as the Super Bowl.
Yeah. So, big sports fan. We'll definitely have you on for future episodes, maybe to talk about different sports. But for today, we're going to talk about baseball. The Red Sox have moved on. They beat the Rays. Now they're playing against the Astros in the ALCS. And the Dodgers are playing the Braves in the NLCS, going on to beat the Giants, who had 107 wins in the regular season. I mean, what a surprise. Ridiculous. And, I mean, they didn't win their division with 106 wins. It's baffling how that's even possible. But so far we've seen 2 walk-offs in the NLCS, which is crazy. The Braves won both of those games surprisingly, and we've seen a lot of offense in that ALCS. So what do you have to say?
Yeah, well, for the ALCS, it's been pretty exciting to watch because I hate the 2 teams very much. I'm sort of sitting back and enjoying the good baseball that's coming. Not really particularly rooting for one team. I would say I would root for the Astros over the Red Sox. Doesn't mean I like the Astros any little bit, but yeah, we've seen some exciting moments, and I think that's what's good about baseball is that there's lots of exciting moments, just like the Correa home run. That was, I would say, probably one of the nicest home run celebrations I've seen in a while, and I know it just sucks to see that the Yankees being eliminated. So it's on one hand, I'm not nervous and stressed out at all like I am every year. On the other hand, it's a little bit of jealousy, seeing the Red Sox, who are supposed to be rebuilding and everything, and it turns out that they're a couple of games away from going to the World Series. It's frustrating.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, it's good baseball. You saw today Chris Sale getting out of that gym. He was fired up. You've seen the Schwarber grand slam. You saw the Alvarez home run. He was fired up. Like you said, the Correa home run. I mean, it's just good baseball. You can't turn your head away from the TV watching it. It's amazing. And we had 2 nail biters in the NLCS. Even if you don't like the Dodgers, you have the Braves, the Dodgers. You have the Astros, the Red Sox. Let's make some World Series predictions because that's what people are looking forward to. What do you think?
Well, I would say that as of now, it's the Astros just won, right? I'm pretty sure the Astros just won. So it's 3-2. I would say that the series is going back to Houston. Are they playing one more game in Fenway next game?
No.
Not sure. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure Houston has a pretty good chance of winning it. But who knows? The Red Sox, they're hot right now. So who knows? And also, I think as of now, we're recording this right before the Dodgers-Braves game. I think whoever wins tonight will win the NLCS. I mean, they have momentum from the walk-off, not the walk-off, but the comeback they had late inning. So I think they're the favorites, especially that they're at home, and which is unfortunate. And I want the Braves to win because they're sort of like the underdog. At the same time, I want the Dodgers to beat whoever the ALCS champion is, right? Because I don't want either the Astros or the Red Sox winning the World Series at all. So I'm rooting for the Dodgers, but I would like to see the Braves win and then try to win the World Series. That would be fun also.
I agree. I mean, I can't really pick a team over the Red Sox and the Astros. I hate the Astros. I hate the Red Sox. I kind of was hoping the Red Sox would win. I mean, the Dodgers-Braves has been close every game. Cody Bellinger came up clutch last night. That was amazing to watch. His home run in the 8th inning. And you never know what happens. I mean, they're playing tonight and tomorrow in LA, and the series switches back to Atlanta after. But the way it's looking, Dodgers are hot, Astros are hot. It might be a rematch from that World Series, and that would be a great series to watch.
And people could probably settle, all the claims. Oh, Astros wouldn't have won if they didn't cheat. Now we can see who will really win. But I want to talk about right now Yankees, the offseason moves that they made. I'm sure there's a lot of Yankee fans out where you live around about, Aaron Boone. And I know I'm supposed to be the guest, but I want to hear your thoughts about the Aaron Boone situation. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, hey, I like how Boone stands up for his players, but I think he has the wrong mentality in the locker room. I think he's saying, okay, we made the wild card, and that's great because half of our team was injured, but you had Judge healthy for majority of the season. You had Stanton, who was playing great for the last stretch. You had pitching. You had a team. You fielded a team, and it wasn't an injured minor league team like you did last year in the COVID season. And you were satisfied making the wild card and losing. And I understand that you're a young manager or new manager and you've managed a great team and roster, so you've been winning. But I don't think that's his responsibility for the win. I think that's the players' responsibility because those are good players. They have one of the best rosters in the MLB. And I don't think Boone does it as a coach.
For me personally, I don't mind Boone coming back. Obviously you want to go on and win the World Series, but it's very hard to do. And I'm not sure there's anything else the Yankees could have done this season, which would have changed that. I don't think he motivates them correctly. Also, I know Marcus Thames is fired, which about time. Phil Nevin, I think Phil Nevin's a little bit overhated. I mean, I think he got fired because of that Judge play at home. But if you're Phil Nevin and you have Joey Gallo, who batted 160 with the Yankees on deck, what do you do? He only has three career sacrifice flies.
You send him.
And bro, he's safe. I was mad at the moment, but looking back at it, I mean, probably is the right choice to send Judge. And it looks like that the Yankees are trying to pursue for Anthony Rizzo as well. So we have to take that. So the lineup's looking, LeMahieu, Rizzo, Judge, Stanton, and then who knows after that.
Hopefully, one of the shortstops hitting the market. We'll see.
Like, who would you rather have? Would you rather have Correa or Seager?
I mean, they're both great offensively. I think Seager might be a bit worse defensively. They're both great. Seager, huh?
It gets more balance to the lineup.
Oh, that's true. Correa's a beast. You've seen him with the Astros. He was the number one pick, and
but I feel
Seager's great too.
Yeah, I would want Correa. Contact extensions for Judge. He's going into his age 30 season.
6 years.
I mean, do you want to risk the injury-prone Judge? He did stay, to his credit, he did stay fully healthy the whole year besides getting COVID, which is sort of like a freak injury, right?
Yeah.
He stayed injury-free the whole year. So do you really want to pay him, let's say, $25 to $30 million a year? And knowing the Yankees' luck with contract extensions, I mean, Aaron Hicks, injured. Luis Severino, injured. PJ LeMahieu. Look how the season was, right? Jacoby Ellsbury. What was that?
I mean, you never know. I think for a player of Judge's caliber, you got to look behind. You got to look past that. And worst case, you include an opt-out like we have on Garrett Cole's contract. And if he doesn't play up to par in the next 3 years, opt out of that deal. And if you can sign him for 1 year, $20 million, if you can restructure his contract, do something with that, or get value for him if he's not doing well, if he's injured, and you think you could trade him for something that's worthwhile, then go ahead and do it. But I think you got to take the chance and re-sign him because when he's healthy, he's a top 5 player in the MLB.
Since this is the first episode of this podcast, I'd like to play a game, get to know your host. So my name's Aiden Imbar. I'm a junior at Mattituck High School, and I'm a Yankee fan, Knick fan, and a Giants fan. Rough teams to be fans of, but I think it's getting better, slowly. Knicks basketball is back. The Yankees have been the Yankees. And, I don't even want to talk about the Giants. They're 1-5. But Something I want to say is that if you ever see me in the hallways, you can always talk sports with me. I'm down to talk about anything. I follow all the teams, and I hope to continue entertaining you guys as this podcast goes on. I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Thank you.